Well, hello there, everybody. How are y'all doing? So good to see you. We were just a tad bit late because I took the ladies on a personal excursion. We went out into the universe. It's like the Moody Blues says, at some point, you're going to have to go out there. And anyway, we were out there and we came back. So welcome everybody. This is Tuesday. And for Trina, I got his programs back 6 years, right? 6 years plus. So for 6 years, we have been doing this show on Tuesdays, and we called it actually it came up with the name, but it evolved because Trina, when we first started meeting, if you remember, that it seemed to revolve around future events impacting past events. And that's where a second look came up. And Trina, much love to you, darling. I tell you, we have become friends, but I would say that we have evolved beyond friends. We are family. It is it has just grown into a beautiful relationship, and it's one that this whole crowd is a part of. So we thank you all, and we speak favor over you. Nothing missing, nothing broken. That's all I go. By the way, for those of you who may not know where that word originated from, actually, it is shalom.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. So if you know of a person of Jewish faith and descent, when they say shalom, what they are speaking is the blessing of Abraham, that there be nothing missing in your life, and all that has been broken shall be restored back unto you. And that becomes the Jubilee.
Wow.
And the Jubilee, by the way, for those who don't know, comes around every 50 years. And the 49th year was the year that the declaration was about to be made. And on the 50th year, jubilation, which was the Jubilee, all slaves were set free. If you had lost property in your family or whatever, all of that property was restored. So everyone started from zero every 50 years.
Wow.
So little etymology on the phrase, but anyway, yeah.
There's so much talk about that as a potential. So it'll be interesting to see how that could manifest, because it could.
The thing about nothing missing, nothing broken, it is that place of where we would call in my computer and electronic days, you have dynamic and you have static. And I see this as a dynamic thing, nothing missing, nothing broken. So, Jenny, hello, my dear. Good to see you.
Hi, Jen.
You're looking quite beautiful, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you. I've got another broken finger, so it's like 4 times the size.
Was this an initiation?
Oh, well, I broke this finger not so long ago, you'll remember.
Yes.
And then I went and broke this finger trying to save an animal. But I went to A&E, and it was a 9-hour wait in A&E today. So I just walked out and thought I'll deal with it tomorrow. So, yeah.
Wow.
So funny.
Well, we're sending you healing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been sending it too. Yeah, that would be good.
I thought I broke my hand last night. I got a big boo-boo.
Did you?
What's up with this?
What kind of magic is this?
Yeah, it was funny because I
curious and curious here.
Yeah, and I was like, but it healed so quickly. It was, it hurt bad, but I iced it and I ran energies on it, and it's like I woke up this morning and I was like, wow, oh, this is good. I can move it again. This is great.
Yeah.
So Oxum Razor says once you eliminate the impossible, then the only thing you have left is your answer. So what's going on?
I think we're battling in our sleep right now. I woke up with a bruise the size of a softball the other day.
Are you getting sleep? Because I'm not. I got to tell you, look at this.
And I've got bruises everywhere.
Yes, I'm telling you, I think something's up.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
y'all,
mean,
check out those guns on Jenny. I mean, hello, sister. Look at that. Oh, look at that with Caz. I mean, y'all, look at, there we go.
rolled up sleeve gang.
Come on.
I love that.
Yeah, we got guns. These
We
girls
got
got
it done.
guns.
Yeah. Wow. Y'all are impressive. Caz, by the way, it's always good to have you joining us. And
Love you, Caz.
Caz passed a mile marker, I guess, in this realm. I mean,
Ah,
50 years, half a century, you know, but you don't look a day over a quarter century. So
right? Right?
I'm just telling you, you don't, you know,
Doing something right. Yeah.
none of y'all ladies do. I mean, it's like,
Oh.
geez, as Rod Stewart said, Sir Rod Stewart, you know, you wear it well.
Oh.
And you wear it well, a little old fashioned, but I don't mind. Oh, by the way, I have to say, Rod Stewart puts on one freaking good I saw him when he Ronnie Wood left Faces to join the Stones, saw that farewell concert that night, and then Lynn and I saw Rod Stewart, I guess, about 6-7 years ago, and I gotta tell you, the dude, what a showman. That's all I gotta say.
My mum used to make my dad paint one of his little fingers like Rod Stewart black, and he used to do it because she said that, you know, they were only 16 at the time, but she wanted his one little finger painted black because Rod Stewart was doing that. Little did she know that was for remote viewing and lucid dreaming. It's a really good technique to paint one little finger or one finger a different color. I do it often, and it brings a focal point when you need to get out of the lucid dream or control it a bit more.
Yeah.
To remind your subconscious that you're in control and remember that color, that's you. And so the things that haven't got that color on are not of you. And so I knew it then that it was a trick that he used to use for lucid dreaming, remote viewing. So yeah.
That reminds me of the movie Inception. You know, did you see the movie Inception?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That's still, do you know there's a whole psychology now behind the movie Inception, because it broke so many freaking barriers that it established that, you know, this lucid dreaming is a real reality, but it's not like our reality.
No, my daughter's really good at it. She goes
really
lucid dreaming. Yeah. She
Yeah.
takes all sorts in her dream. But she's Pisces, so, you know, it's natural to her.
You know, when I was in my religion, you know, I had the gift. I was, there is a passage in the book of Jeremiah where it says that young men will be the seers of visions. And I was used on that, you know, there are a number of times, but it's a real place. It really is. It exists.
More than this place sometimes.
I think so. Yeah. I really do.
I think so too.
Yeah. Lynn had a dream the other night, which was phenomenal. She, because Lynn, and a lot of times in her dream, she's in the delivery room. She's back in her youth working, you know, those horrendous hours as a nurse, you know. So when she has dreams that are not so much associated with work, as she says, sometimes she's more tired from working in her sleep than she is actually awake.
Because she's a spirit wife. Your wife is a spirit wife. I always say that she's not just a nurse or a midwife. She's a spirit wife. You know, she's got tendrils of connections that she's made to people over the patients over the years. That, you know, she's an anchor to them. It's very special.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny. She is. She's a very So anyway, she dreamt that we were on the deck, and there were, as she said, this, you couldn't count all the green birds, and I was out there swooping them up, and so the interpretation came that, you know, green birds, particularly smaller birds, are a sign of prosperity, renewal of life, and new doors awakening.
You know what I just saw, Wayne?
What'd you see? See, I could see you out there.
Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful what I saw. I saw the symbol of the 528 hertz pattern. And that's love, and that's universal love, and it's the only sound that makes a full circle. And I literally saw you encircled with that frequency. It was, and that was the birds. The birds are sound, and the wings are spirit. Beautiful symbology. Wow.
Wow. I'm writing that down.
Wow.
It is a beautiful pattern as well, the 528. It's the frequency of love, isn't it? The miracle.
And the bird is the symbology of the bird is so powerful. That's Thoth. That's the highest wisdom. That's spirit. They fly.
It's spirit. It is spirit. Yeah.
Birds are the only things that can mimic our voice. They can make our voice. Birds.
I said, honey, that's a beautiful dream. She said it tickled her because I was like, I was scooping these birds up and, anyway.
Yeah. Taking in the new geometry, anchoring the new energy, the new sound, the love, the 528. Wow.
Special gal. So hello everyone in the chat room. Good to see you. Graham said birds are also an old symbol for souls, especially in the northern mythologies.
Yes.
Thank you, Graham. There you go. Yeah. Far out. Who was in here for the first time? There was a first time person viewing. So welcome.
Welcome.
Jay said, also had a dream where I woke up and was in the dream within a dream. There's some truth to that.
I've heard about that before.
I do that. I've argued with myself in dreams. Kind of reflection of you. Can't control two of me.
I still have this ongoing dream. I know we've talked about it here, but again, where I'm in with a group of people, some I know, some I don't know, and the buildings are so freaking weird. But I'm supposed to be at an airport to catch a flight, and every time, I've told you all this before, I couldn't find my clothes to pack.
Yeah.
Well, I had the continuation of the dream that this time I was in a hotel. I knew it was a hotel, high rise. And I had actually packed my suitcase with a bag on top of it and had put it in a room. And then I knew I was supposed to be going to the airport, but I couldn't find my luggage.
Wow.
That damn luggage, Wayne.
I said, son of a bitch. It's like,
without it. You know what that's saying to me? Go without it.
Just go with it. Yeah, don't take it. Maybe you're not meant to take it.
There's a lot that you.
The same thing with you guys. Exactly. I'm seeing the same thing. It's like, let go of the identity. It no longer serves you.
Maybe that's what, maybe that's why I talk here.
You don't need the suitcase because everything that you need is going to be provided for you, and it's not going to be what you held before. It's going to be completely different. So none of those things are applying to you anymore. It's like a girl that can't find her purse. It's like it's the same thing. Yeah, that's
it.
It's like, new identity time. It's like all brand
Hey, Paul
new
from
stuff.
Newcastle, how you doing, brother? Robert V. Yeah. So thank y'all, because that's now I'm going to put that into my mind because it's frustrating because lately sleep has been hard. What's that, sweetie?
You need to get to the next destination in that dream, I feel.
That's my frustration, Jenny. I know I'm supposed to be.
Get there, where you keep trying to get there with everything of the past. You keep trying to get to a new space where old vibrations don't fit through the door. So those garments that you've packed that hold a certain vibration of a certain character, the way that you used to dress, the type of demeanor you used to have to put on, everything's been stripped away from you so much, which is awesome.
Hey, it hasn't been pleasant though, I got to tell you that.
No, exactly. Which is why we don't just want to jump it. At least we want something to show for it, even if it's scarred tissue, but it's about just getting into that dream space again with intent and saying to that luggage, you stay here. I don't need you wherever you're hiding. Stay, and see, because there's something nice for you in that next destination that needs to feed into the physical thereafter. There's something in spirit, i.e. dream world, that you need to do and you know this, to get to that destination in order to unlock certain things in this physicality. And so the continuing trying to find that luggage, trying to drag old vibrations that you carried into new geometrical spaces just is never going to work. But
the peanut gallery's screaming at me again, and they're saying exactly what Jennifer's saying, and they're like, but it goes time to trust. You used to trust in religion and faith, and you had this practice for 50 years, and now it's time for you to trust yourself. You don't need the old suitcase. You don't need any of the old stuff. Now you know you have the power, and you have everything that you need within you. So there's nothing now you need to bring with you, because now you're creating all brand new. But you need to trust yourself like you used to trust in the faith.
You know, that is a good point. See, there's some smart people here.
It's about trust.
It's about trust.
Look, you broke all your paradigms. Oh, broke. And now it's time to put faith and trust back in your life in a magnificently strong way, like you used to with religion. And it's shifting, but now it's about the power that's within you, so you truly can affect the world as a part of God, as a true seed of creation. You're doing it now, because now you know the power comes from us by connecting to God, source, whatever you want to call it, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. But that power is you now. Your antenna isn't connecting to the false holographic matrix of dogma. You're actually connecting outside of the physical matrix, and you're connecting to the true spiritual consciousness, which is above this matrix, this world. It's completely different. And now that's where you're going now. And now it's like trust. And
that's what I think Agape Love just said. She said, just throw the thing over the cliff. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that, because it's held me up every time. And this dream is now, it's getting to be such a pain in my ass that, it's like, it's like, well, and here I am, but this has helped me. I'm going to put it into the liminal space in because this is what it is. This is a great group. Brandon, you're right. This is a great group. What's that, sweetie?
Into trust as well in the physical, as Trina's just talking there, and the trust in self and the trust, the way what you were talking about yesterday on your show. I was listening to that today while I was building this 18-foot thing. And so I'm listening to you, and what you were talking about was edging towards the scam. It's basically a scam made up by a few that we've all compacted into.
It is a scam.
But what you can do is you need to start looking at other ways to multiply and protect through the trust funds, i.e. I'm going to send you some documents and things of how you set up a trust fund so that it's always safe. And there are different ways to buy and different things to unlock if you create a trust in this physical realm that Lynn would be a beneficiary of, you would be a beneficiary of, but trust legally is a separate protected entity, which is why rich people put their things in trusts rather than their
going after the trust right now in the United States, Jen. They're starting to invade that system.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, I wonder too, if this message of trust is bigger. We keep hearing this message. Brian brought it through with Chloe, that we need to trust in each other. We really need to unify. So like a trust, I don't think that individual trusts may have a lot of substantial power anymore, but if we join together and put ours in a pool together, even the separate through a joint effort, you know what I mean? There's something
I think this new TV channel should be that.
Legally unifying each other in some type of a formal agreement that could go global. To the whole world could be a participant in this new structure of system that would be for we the people, for divine principles of well-being, to establish well-being on the planet. And that means the whole planet, but it's not a new world order. It's not any of that kind of stuff. This is based on human compassion, love for each other, and cooperation.
Yeah, I saw that program with Chloe and over on Robert's channel. It was very interesting.
It was awesome, wasn't it? Yeah.
That session was so much fun, you guys. I mean, it was just amazing. And I get to see some of it. So it's beautiful when I get to see parts that you really like to see. And that was just wonderful. I was like, I needed that. That was a little breath of sunshine in my little world. I was like,
it always draws me back, to when Brian transcended over. We was doing a show with Marsha Price, and I think was it you or was it
me?
Was it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember because Brenda was right behind you, Brian's mom. So yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. I was blowing up his phone and paramedics answered my call.
Mm-hmm.
I was the first one to actually physically know.
And you also know who I saw today? This is very interesting. Is the title of the show's Looking Back. Was in, my files and came across a picture of Carla. Carla lived in Norway and she took the step for her own step and her own departure. And so, and Carla was very much a part of this group. And this group, I remember, boy, it gets intense because she sent me the email right before she went into the facility. So she wasn't going to come back out. And she said that, it was this group that gave her the strength, and I just think she's an incredibly brave woman, brave soul.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And her predicament was so not fixable.
Yeah.
And
it was
a horrible end and there was no getting out of it. So she gracefully departed instead of holding on and going through all the torment that would cause the family to watch such a serious breakdown in a fashion. So
and now the pictures are coming back in of all the people who have transcended that have been a part of this soul tribe, this group. We have a good representation on the other side.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
It's just it's amazing because it transcends, realms, dimensions, realities.
All the way to the top, Wayne.
Thought it was interesting, Chloe, when she was talking about, Brian, about where he is. And after you listen to this, over a decade now, I've been in here, and before there was a soul tribe. And, I knew Brian on a very spiritual level. And I thought it was interesting when I listened to Chloe's words, and I said, he's made huge advancements. I don't know if people can read what I'm trying to say, but he has, wow, it's very impressive.
I watched his whole journey. We did shows for 2 years before you and I did.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember I told you when he passed, I saw him receive a golden robe. That is some of the highest frequencies because it's gold. I mean, that's high powered stuff. And then when he laughed and said, "I am everything," it was so amazing. Just profound. And he took Chloe through the layers of the universe. He took her all the way to the top. She got to go through the doors. He took her straight through. He said, "Come with me, I'm going to show you." And he showed her the universe, like layers of I was like, wow. Wow. So yeah, it was quite a ride.
Why do I always get the image of Patrick Stewart and Ghost,
Yeah.
That's exactly what I get. I see the picture when Demi Moore was there with the penny. Remember that?
Yes.
And because that to me is just the transition of how many different layers there are, but yet so compacted.
Yes. And the focus that it takes to impregnate the two, between the two. That was a great movie to show.
My wife's still in love with Patrick Stewart. You know, she says, "What's there not to love about Patrick? Not Patrick Stewart, no, Patrick Swayze." Yeah.
Oh yeah, Swayze. Oh, Swayze.
Do you know that he was a professional ballet dancer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he started out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That boy.
I mean,
oh man.
I mean, now I know where, you know, the how he did so well in the movie with Jennifer Grey. What was that?
You can tell by his
Dirty
legs.
Dancing. Was it Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Caz. Yep. I mean,
Awesome,
I totally get
yeah.
it now. It's like, yeah.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound the same in an English accent, but I still have to say it.
I just saw that scene too, as you said that, Bouzine, you know, like,
yeah, I used to love that scene. I was like, somebody drag me out the corner.
Yeah.
I think every woman I've ever talked to, you know, and they know Patrick Swayze, was like, yeah, man. They said he was voted the most beautiful man twice.
You know,
Well,
I would vote for that.
Yeah, I would. I'd have to say that. You know,
he was married to his wife for the whole time. Of his
the
life.
whole time.
Great human being. Great human being. I would vote for that too. Yeah.
Yeah, in a second. You know, I liked him in Red Dawn. I thought that was a pretty cool movie. You know, but you see, looking back, I mean, this is what it's about. I mean, and with Brian, you know, we know that there are those that are looking after this group. I think they come in when we come in.
And he can be like Chloe. She saw him bilocate. She saw him do it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like, he can be with all of us at the same exact time.
Actually, we already do it. And this, we just don't realize that what we're doing.
Right. Yes.
I mean,
confirms, absolutely confirmation. He's with us all at the same time if we want him to be. It's that easy.
I you know, I don't know about y'all, but there are times where I am the observer. I realize I'm the participant as well, but I am seeing the point of view as from the observer, and it truly is a dream. What's that, Jenny?
I'm smiling because Trina's seen a post that I put up this week of just me with my hat. I like styling with my hat, but just saying, you know, when a high priestess withdraws and is observant, you know, it's important to be observant, but while contemplating actions. And that's been coming through real strong for me for the last few months. There is so much data chaos that I feel in the luminiferous ether that you've got to really work at staying grounded right now and being the observer for a lot of the time, cataloging it, you know, in your waters, in your memory. So yeah, I just put a post up last week and the week before about being the observer and the importance of it before taking actions, because everything's on such a short loop here. Everything's on such a short recycle loop.
It makes me think as well, Jenny, when we talk about this is as below, so above as below. You know, I was taught that principle in my Christian faith that, you know, nothing happens here in the physical unless it first takes place in the spiritual. So I wonder if there is, in fact, this spiritual war going on, because if there is chaos here, I can't help but not think there must be chaos over there that's emanating and influencing here.
You know,
there is.
Yeah, but only to certain levels. And I think that the chaos that we're experiencing here is that light bodies were brought down into physical existence. So that meant that we were blended with different species that are not of our original template of light body man, woman, man. It's androgynous, that template, but it's a universal template they show me. And it can go take on so many different forms. And that's how we all share this consciousness. But that's the connection. It's literally through the template of man, which is the divine template, which is in the space. It's in space. It's a body in space, and it's bigger than we can even imagine. It's so huge. So I see that we're in this beautiful divine body, and we're Oh God, it's so hard to put into words what I see, but it's like I can't even put it into words. I get stuck. But we are of this powerful thing. And I
So
keep
let me ask
seeing
you,
it.
Trina, on that, then let's extrapolate going out. Because I look out in the world, I spent some time last week dealing with some Congress people. There is, and I'll use what she said. She said, there's no unity. She said, everything is in confusion. Everything.
Yeah, she's right.
Now she's talking about governments, our government here in the United States, but it's affecting every government around the world. So what's going on? If we have this ability for this power, then it's either been usurped or it's more powerful than our small little group. Something's going on.
It's been usurped. That's why everything's so occulted. It's been hidden because they've always known how to utilize these powers, but we didn't even know they existed. They were kept hidden from us so intentionally because when we can level up and play the same game, ours is from a different resonance field. So it's organically stronger in its creation point. It's just literally so much stronger. So they know that if we truly do start working on this and we unify, it does make changes in the world. And I know that they're threatened extremely much. This
person told me that, because I said, the problem is there's not a message of love. She says that's the last thing anyone wants up here. This is in Washington, D.C. She said there is an environment of hatred that is, as she says, you walk in where she has to go every day. It's palatable.
Problem. You might have just solved this problem. What do humans need? We need to be told what to do. It's part of our program, okay? You just told everybody how to heal. This is to focus positive, loving energy at DC.
I agree with that.
That would change it. I mean, the monks did this in DC. The crime rate went down by like 82%. Homicide dropped 30%. I mean, it's measurable. You may have just solved the whole problem. We need to focus on the problem, which is right now. That's what's the problem.
But they're the church, they're the middle people though. And I don't want to be a downer, but government right now have been usurped a long time ago, but right now the muscle that usurped them, i.e. the WEF, the gates of this world, the government isn't in control of anything. Like the UK, they've sold us out. I mean, there was a Chinese representative of some kind said this week, when a very arrogant British presenter said, something very arrogant, and he replied back to say, we would want love and peace to work with the UK, but I'm ad-libbing, but in that he said, but basically don't bait us for war. We own you. We own your waters.
We own your ass.
We own everything. We own everything that you import, even that you export, we still own, because everything you export needs a part from China. So don't bait us in war. What would be the point of that? We want to act in a way that works well with you, but don't. And they've never been as bold enough to say that. And straight away the presenters and everybody in the UK is like, oh, they've never been as bold enough to say this. And I'm like, no, Sun Tzu, they've just been restrained enough to usurp us by giving us everything that we've wanted at a very cheap price. Morals and ethics be damned, as to how it's so cheap. And they've waited, and right now is the time where they can say, but we own you. We own your energy companies, we own your communications, so again, it's this arrogance to say that these governments are even in control. I mean, the UK has been sold off this year and last more than it ever has before. We own nothing, but the royal family.
And you'll be happy.
Yeah, and you'll be happy. Yeah. So giving love to the government, it's all well and good, and I'm happy to do that, and I do so. I want them to have the strength, but they don't even, the parliament members that you would speak to that aren't at the very, very top, they're wondering what the hell's going on. Why is everybody so arguing? Why is everybody so disconnected? Why is everybody so forlorn? Because they don't even know how much the government is just making decisions just based off what the WEF say,
So let's use Brian's experience with Chloe, where layers. You see, I have this sense that I can't see it, but I know it's there. There is, and I don't know if it's an individual. I don't sense. I sometimes I think it's a collective, but I have this crazy sense that, how can I say, I'm like you, Trina. I'm trying to put this in words. There is a level, and it's a malevolent energy. You call it energy, but they actually exist. I have this sense that it's taken over, that it's one. Now, no one wants to talk about this.
Brian said we won.
We may win, but right now, whatever is impacting us right now, it has taken control, which means if you're taking control, something has been pushed out.
You know what, Wayne? You're right, because it's taken control of the leaders of the world, because they've made their choice, and now they're going down with the ship. But
well, it's like tomorrow. Today, Russia is doing a nationwide drill with their people, all their whole population. By the way, the Russian is the only country that we know of that can literally put most of its population under the ground within a very short period of time. But they're doing a nationwide drill. That the drill is that there has been an atomic weapon hit Russia. And this is what they're taking. Tomorrow, we know that here in the United States, that FEMA and the FCC are joining together. And this is where the real reality goes when they start. In fact, we're probably T-minus 22 hours from this event, where we're going to realize that your smartphone is never turned off, that now they can control all the communication. And this is what they're saying is just a drill. But you don't do drills unless you have the potentiality of the drill becoming an actuality. That's what I'm trying to say. Are we being lullified by one aspect and completely missing the target here? Are we going to wake up one day and there's going to be 1.5 billion people gone?
That could be a potential.
To say that we haven't won anything isn't losing. I think it's being sensible, because the same story is being told through every religion. Already won. You just have to wait till you get to the other side, to win, or we've already won with this battle. We've won nothing. They've changed nothing of the plans that have been set out for these last few years. Nothing. They've all gone swimmingly well for the people that have set out those plans. And those plans came.
Not all of them. What happened to the whole monkey and the whole pox thing? That didn't even take off at all. We are gaining some ground. If people don't see it, I know that it's hard to see, but I do see that there's movement. I do see it at a deep level, but I do think that this script, it's a script, and so many people believe it. So it's gonna run because everybody believes it, but a lot of people are not believing it anymore. So that's going to make a difference on how hard we get hit with it. So we can affect only the level, but we can't affect the whole, script. So the script is going to run, but whether or not people comply fully and how that goes is going to be very different. So it's going to be interesting, because a lot of people, if this breaks down and fails them, they're going to be so angry at it. A lot of people will not ask for, what can you do to help me anymore? They're going to say, I'm done with you. So we're going to have a big split.
Well, you look in the world, there is this migration worldwide that's taking place. And I won't use the other descriptive words of what's really taking place, but this is troublesome, because if you're moving large masses of people, listen, that just doesn't happen by happenstance. There's a purpose and a reason behind it.
You bet.
And it usually doesn't bode well for those that are living where the migration is going to.
Well, what happened when Columbus came to America for the Indians? It wasn't a good situation.
Yeah, the UK is sinking. I mean, Caz will tell you that the UK is sinking. We are sinking in people. We haven't got the infrastructure, the doctors, the hospitals, the schools. There are no school spaces. You can't get a doctor's appointment because they are deliberately allowing so many people in, deliberately emptying many lands of the fit young men, because we've only got fit young men coming over here.
Wow. Now, see, that is what's happening over here. We don't talk about it, but this is a.
And it's because they don't want the strong men back in the lands that they need to get the geometry from, the old equipment from, which is new equipment, the giants from in Afghanistan. So they don't want the young men that can possibly put up a fight for the women and children there. They are attracting them to here and letting us sink. Nothing is working in the UK. Nothing.
Same here. Interesting. This is coordinated.
And the children are going mad. The children are going mad. There are children. We've had 5 stabbings of children under 16 in one city, London. Now, to me, this is frequency. It's data that's over the phone, viral things that are encouraging children to do things. There was a poor girl, 15 years old, stabbed on her way to school with a machete because she was protecting her friend because her friend didn't want to go out with a boy anymore. He had flowers in one hand and a machete in the other, and he chose to give her the machete. So, the children are going crazy here, and as above, so below in all of those layers. But I believe as below, so above as well. I don't believe it's a one-way system. I think it's back and forth.
Well, I'll just add this to it, Jenny. On top of that, I do, in the spare time, I go and do my paranormal thing. I'm getting at times where, as I'm telling you, something's happening in the spirit realm. It is fucking chaos over there.
Yeah, it is. It's not happy.
It can't be just here. It's here. It's there too.
As above, so below.
Yeah, yes. And I think it goes both ways. It's a conduit both ways. This separation thing people have and this compartmentalization thing people have. It's not how it works. Everything's connected to everything. If my eyes are achy, my big toe can feel it. It's in one way or the other. If you've got a stiff neck, you can use eye movements to completely unstiffen your neck without doing any neck exercises. As above, so below. As below, so above, as within, so without.
We're talking about this, and I just grabbed a book and I opened it. And where my eyes went straight to it was after a shamanic vision of the subtler levels of reality, the semi-mythical ancient Egyptian prophet Hermes Trismegistus enjoyed a slightly different paraphrasing and said that one of the main keys to the knowledge of everything was understanding that without is like within of things, and the small is like the large. The medieval alchemist, for whom Hermes Trismegistus became kind of a patron saint, distilled the sentiment and the motto, as above, so below. So this is exactly, everything is a reflection of what's happening. So this utter chaos that's happening in the spirit world is this knowing that we're getting ready to go into something massive. There's fear, there's panic, there's chaos, there's confusion. Nobody knows what's going on. And I think that that's above too. But I do think our consciousness has shifted to a level of where the game has changed a little bit. And it's always been said that we would win in the end. So I don't know if it's going to be 5,000 years from now, whatever, but we're making ground. But what's going on with us here is happening above us. I know this for a fact, and I can feel it and I can sense it. And it's in my dreams. It's in all of you all's dreams. We're being told we need to choose what we're going to connect to. So we have to connect to the appropriate information and anchor it as hard as we can into this planet. They keep showing me, be the antenna for the new light. They're trying to block the sun. Be the antenna for the new light. They're trying to block the sun. Bring in the information, bring it in, code it into the earth, code it into the earth. They're trying everything they can to stop it.
Okay, so how many of you seen the movie The Prophecy?
I have.
I think I have.
Where the detective they found a body in LA, and the body was not human. It was an angel that had been murdered. But in that movie, Michael and Gabriel are talking, and Gabriel has started the second revolt in heaven. And this has sent chaos through the whole universe because now everything is in motion. And Michael comes and confronts Gabriel. If many of you have watched the movie, and they did a number of series, he said, God doesn't talk to you anymore because God's mad at you. You started this second war, which he finished the first war. And then Satan comes in and tells the detective, he says, Danny, he says, you don't understand. I am not for humanity, but I'm going to do everything I can to stop this second war because, as he said, one hell is enough for any universe. I don't need two.
Yep.
So bringing this full circle, and I love this, and Caz, people are going to say, well, you haven't said a word. So
I've been listening.
I just want to put this forth. What if we're just now beginning to become aware, the vast majority of people, humans, that in fact there is this spiritual war going on? Now, I want to show everyone, and Jenny, you came in late on this, but I want to show you my evidence that this war has been actually taking place. When I started this journey here, we were fortunate to capture enough imagery off of Sechi before they took it down. And tell me when y'all can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is my contention that this is actually part of this war, and whatever is happening when this, and you can see this was back in May of 2007, that I contend, and there was a lot of comment, Yellow Rose for Texas talked about this. So, and I can show you, by the way, allow me to stop here for a second, how this particular attack, how it ended up. I'll pull this video up, and then I want y'all's discussion and those in the chat room that are seeing this. So this is the second image. Give me 1 second. There you all are. So this is the second one. What if the Earth has been hit by an energy field that is negative within its very origins? And this is what's impacting. And you can see the Birkeland currents. This is Earth right here. And you can continue to see it's now encapsulating the Earth. And I actually have the final one where this craft moves to the other side of it.
Every time you show me this, remember the child prophet when she was talking about that we had to go through these 3 O-holes? I swear to God, that looks like what she was trying to explain.
All right, and here is the final one of the series. And I like to get y'all's comments because I'm now looking at this. What are we looking at? 15 years later? And could it be? And this is after the craft, the energy shield has hit the Earth, and now the craft is moving away.
It feels like to me, looking at the craft, that it's showing some of the visions I've had.
And it's right here, by the way, folks.
Magnet thing, like this is how there's a lot of the ships that they move with magnetism by magnifying the what's in front of them in order to pull the ship forward, so they don't need the fuel, they don't need it looks like it's moving with magnetism, that energy in front, and it draws it in and moves again and draws it in. That so it's highly magnified in my intuition.
But would my hypothesis though make sense? Because if I look back, you can look at the earth and the population and what's happened to us as a society, as a culture, as a race. I contend that this energy field, and this was only one of about a dozen ships that came from because what you've seen is the oculus, that was the dark mark. That was of Secchi's telescope looking out. And it covers Jupiter. So whatever these craft were coming in behind Jupiter into the inner solar system. My thing is that have we been enveloped in a radiation field or something that is purposely driving us to a point of where we are today?
I think that's a high potential.
It's just a hypothesis.
Wayne, I've been hearing for 2 years, make sure you do periodic detoxes as though you've been poisoned by radioactive poisoning. So they've been telling me for 2 years that periodically through the year, I need to do different protocols to reduce the radiation that I've been absorbing.
And we know that that's happening. Yosley, to answer your question, it did envelop us, did envelop the earth.
I think everybody should have iodine in the house.
So do you think it's possible that we are being influenced? Because today I'm joining Ryder on his show here in about 2 hours.
Wayne, I think the radiation is coming from the galactic center, and I think it's coding. It's literal information. So yeah, are hard, but I think these are going to be like all these people talked about these potentials of reawakening the DNA. This would do it. This would do it.
So do you think that these crafts that I just showed you on Secchi, what's your thought of that? Do you think it was a craft? What do you think that you were actually seeing?
A craft, I think.
A craft.
Yeah.
With magnetism.
Or a
huge
small G God.
Yeah.
Could be an angel.
Yellow Rose believes that. She thinks that these were beings. These were attacking.
I do too. That's what I feel in my core. When I see that thing coming through and opening up its eye and engulfing, I see a being, conscious being, and we're going through the energy field of that being, which is going to code our planet, because anything's touch each other. They affect each other in a monumental way. Wow.
I think you've got to be aware as well, though, as above, so below, that France has just banned the new iPhone 12 because of the amount of radiation it's emitting. So by law, you're not allowed to have or sell iPhone 12s in France now, as of today,
Wow.
because of the radiation they're emitting. And I don't think people realize that data increases the radiation. So these children that are going mad have constantly got data running, not just when they're looking at their phone, but running in the background because they don't shut down the apps that they use. And that's been a huge part of my radiation detox over the last few months, in that I've needed to be around copper, around ground, and actually have my phone somewhere else because I can feel it pulsating out of my old phone in a way that I didn't feel it. I did feel it before, but not as intensely as this. It's uncomfortable to hold sometimes. You can feel it.
I can too. It hurts my hands.
Water,
it hurts my hands.
DNA. So
all of your hands are doing, because it's interesting. This just started it hit me about 3 months ago, and I never had a problem with my hands at all. How interesting.
They can pulse through that radiation through any amount of apps in a surge at any point. So, when people were looking at, China, it could be a big bang, a big surge where they switch off the electricity. They don't even have to do that. They just have to supercharge some data through whatever app, that we're using, American, British, or Chinese, and that data will come through.
Well, you remember the Simpsons episode? The reason why so many people are freaking out about tomorrow is because the Simpsons, which have this freaking track record of being a predictive cartoon. It has predicted the future so many times. But in an episode, I think it was 4 years ago, in the town, everyone had their cell phones, and the story was that they sent a signal through the cell phones that turned everybody into zombies.
That's true. And there's a movie called The Cell.
Yes, there is. And I recommend that. Please go see that movie, The Cell.
So
have you looked up how much they're talking about zombies? Have you looked at how much?
And what is this? If they get hit with a magnetic field pulse, what's going to affect their magnet? Heart, brain. So we're probably going to see a lot of heart problems too.
People are fighting in the streets of the UK, like mothers and children, and it's data.
There's a drug that has now hit. There's a channel on YouTube called Kensington Street, and it's actually where this guy's down in Philadelphia. There is a drug now that people, when they consume it, when they take it, it turns them into zombies. They're bent over.
I've seen them.
They can't move. They just, and it's spreading.
I've seen them in Phoenix all over. They're stuck on trash
cans. Yes. They're just.
It's a drug.
It's what's that, Caz, hon?
What is it? A drug? Like
is it a
high drug?
It's xenothol or something is what it's called here. I've heard it. Hey, Linda, how you doing, dear?
Yeah, Wayne, I've seen that. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah,
We're seeing a lot of that here in Arizona too. I mean, it's here.
So this is kind of weird stuff, Now, I think that's tomorrow. I think that I listen, I'm a kid, everyone knows what my age, but I remember first grade, us doing the drop, duck, and cover, because I sat with my grandfather watching the United States Navy confront the Russian Navy that had nuclear missiles on it. Now, that's how close we came. That was close enough for me. I told Lynn, we both kind of chuckled. That was close enough. This is crazy, but something's happening. I don't know if we solved anything.
I think this next week there'll be quite a few political deaths. Through frequency, through data. Obviously, a lot of them have been encouraged to virtue signal while they got the dash in the arm, and that's got hydrogel in it. That's got all of the things I was talking about years ago, the black goo. That the data can connect with that. It can duplicate and replicate, and so we're gonna see some shit, and it's gonna be unbelievable. But it's not because this was the foregone conclusion, and that's what I can't let go of and don't want anyone else to. In that this has been a script played out, and the participants. Greatest participants have been the people on the ground, because the reason that they have to hide with their puppet show of governments as little shadow puppets on the stage for us all to watch and fight over and choose a side and be distracted by they've only had to go to that extent because they need the many to make a choice and a compact to go along with the decisions that they make for us. And we're going to see the ramifications of that big style. And we can speak very spiritually, but we also have to speak to the physical of what we're actually seeing. And I just think we're going to see some shit.
Look how they're starting to do the video.
And that shit was not foregone. It was not biblical. It was just because we decided to get on board in enough numbers that it could be done. Because if enough people had said no, without any fighting, just no, then this would have been done and dusted, I said 3 years ago. But people want to be on board because as above, so below. There are enough people around us on the ground that have just the same mentality, consciousness, and connectedness of being that dwell in the WEF and are quite happy to see others around them controlled and oppressed. And so yeah, we're going to see some. I don't want to be around people when they're putting that frequency out. I really don't.
I was going to say, I think we do need caution, and we need to use this. And I will tell you, there's a guy, I think his name is Monograph. I watch him often, and he was showing how you can wrap the phone in tinfoil, and you can have people call you, it will not ring. So it's really blocking a lot. I mean, it won't even function. It can't take messages or call or anything. So if you're truly concerned about these things, and like I said, we need to also pay attention to this might really affect the heads and the hearts of many people. So I know it sounds crazy, the tinfoil hat thing. I know it sounds crazy, but wear your shielding devices. Wear the things that will keep you safe. Unplug as many of them as you can, but it still doesn't matter. They can hit them remotely. So it doesn't even matter. So be a pet. If your head starts to hurt or you start feeling strange, shield your head, shield your heart, shield your phone. You know,
get some copper, stick it in the ground on a stick, hold that stick, speak in tongues, raise your vibration to all of them with broken finger and toe, and give it to the man. Give it to the man. No fun inside. That's what I've been doing. I've been sticking my copper stick in and saying, all of it. This is all I am. This is all I do. And I'm going round that stick, dancing around it, pounding on the ground. Yeah, the worms joining in. Everything's welcome when the frequency is of my. Yeah, yes, my sister. Wave your wand, get the copper, dig it in.
Get my wand.
You know, you are the revolution. There is no other revolution outside of you. It is all within you individually. We cannot impact these puppets. We cannot impact these babies as much as we try. Oh, wow, Caz.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Marsha Price made me my wand.
Oh, Marsha.
Marsha, she's just great.
Marsha. This was the first one.
Wow.
This is Marsha's very first one. Was this one?
That totally. There's like bling.
Look at that now. I mean,
see the dragons on there?
So well.
Yeah, the dragon. With the
I see that.
Dragon.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Eric.
Yeah.
I just got to say, what
stuff.
I love this.
Bring it on.
I get so pissed off with them. You know, I do. And in a good way, it doesn't stick with me. I'm in no fear. I'm in no, but you know, we do need to speak truly.
It says the witches love their sticks. Yeah, and they want those sticks.
Yeah, we love a stick.
I can fly on this.
No, automatic.
You know it. Hey, Gaia. Much love to you, darling. Seeing you in there. How you doing, honey?
I love it how we you know, everything is like everything that's unknown is totally just provable and scientific once you have an awareness of how it works. We just forgot how all these things work. But I think that's why people knew how valuable these tools were, because we are of the earth. And when we connect with the elements of the earth, copper, crystals, different stones, different elements, and then you put it into a spiraling fashion, this is putting energy into our world. So these things I know are tools, but I think they do much more than we even understand.
You speak 369 into the universe and you literally open up realms. If you can speak that in a geometrically symmetrical way to the 369, you're passing through barriers, you're passing through layers. So it's being aware of the distractions and not falling into the traps. But also, you know, also saying fuck it as well, you know.
You know what I do now? I don't, if say I'm going to buy something from Amazon or something, I add up the price, and if it doesn't go in the 369, I don't buy it until I find one that does add up to 369. And you know, like when you see the reviews of 5 stars, I add that up as well. And if that doesn't add up to a Tesla number, then I'm not having that one either. It seems to really work. It's really good.
I love it. Oh, wow. Well, we certainly, what a show. What a thank you. I mean, this is far out.
Congratulations on your 5,000th show.
Thank you, dear. Someone was saying, do you really have 5,000? Actually, it's way over 5,000.
I was going to say, I know you're over 5,000, but to have the registered acknowledgement of at least 5,000, that's wow, that's profound.
Such a milestone.
My wife said, now I know where you've been.
Right.
I know where the time's gone.
But thank you. And I don't know if I'm going to do 5,000 more, but we're going to have fun no matter how many we're going to do. So, and this is part of it. This every Tuesday. I love how this show has grown, and it has its own energy and its own vibe now. It's pretty cool.
It's evolution. We're all going through waves.
Yeah, it is.
Different points of creation and learning new things. And guys, I just know, the spirits told me quite a while back, Wayne, that we won. And I'm like, they're like, you really need to do the happy dance. I was like, you're crazy. Do you not see the world? You know what I mean? I'm like,
I don't want to dance. I don't want to dance.
Planet that I'm on, and they're like, no, you don't understand. We see down the timelines, and you guys had so many probable timelines that were going to utter bad deal. They're like, but not anymore. They're like, you're going on more positive timelines now. You're creating it, and you guys are doing it so much faster than we'd ever anticipated. And they said that we had a tipping point, and we met and exceeded it in 2012. So this is going to manifest, but it's going to take time. Yeah.
Okay, everybody.
Can I just quickly answer? Somebody asked where to get the copper wire from. I buy it in a cheaper way of buying electrical wire, because then the gauge is good enough. So electrical wire that you would wire up sockets with, and then you can get the reel of it. It's so easy to just get a wire stripper and strip that baby, and you get about half more for your money anywhere that you're buying it than you would just going in and asking for copper. And not food grade copper, electrical copper. So yeah, buy it that way and strip the wire.
There you go. DIY.
Tips.
All right, folks. Much love to you all. Thank you, everyone in the chat room and everybody else. We send you love. Caz, I hope to see you back on again. You're always welcome.
Absolutely.
I
love
like
your presence.
the symmetry of it. It works out well. Happy birthday to you. Jenny, you're looking fabulous, darling. I have to say, I love it.
Yes, you are, Jenny.
Yeah, it's got that glow about her. That's all I got to say. Broken finger and all. And Trina, I just got to say thank you, dear. Let's do another 6-7 years. And
absolutely. Any way we need to, any way it goes. I really don't care, as long as I'm with you guys in this tribe. My life is just a better place with you guys in it. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Much love to y'all. Tune in there to Ryder Lee's Raised by Giants. I think it's maybe in the next hour. So anyway, ladies, stay with me as we exit out. See everyone tomorrow on Wednesday, Hump Day. Hey,